Hi, it's episode 3 of making the very small kitchen more livable, more usable, less crowded, just creating space so that we actually have room on the worktop to cook, because at the minute everything is all over the place. We've got things all over the floor because we've got no storage. So the plan of action was to turn this cupboard into a pantry, and then also we're going to be putting shelves up on that back wall and having kind of an open display of food container kind of thing. Today we have now got the shelf up. We're going to put all of the stuff on the shelf. I think it looks great, and then we're ordering, well, it should be coming today. We've got another small shelf that should be going there, so then we can have even spaced shelving on both sides, and we can put even more containers on there. Hopefully it's going to look good. It's going to make the kitchen just a lot more practical. Oh yeah, by the way, we went to B&Q last night. We got some timber battens, and I think it was MDF. We went for MDF in the end, not plywood. What I'm going to be doing is, with the battens, we're going to be creating something that looks like this, and then we're going to be attaching the MDF over it, giving it a quick sand down, and then painting it so that we have pantry shelving, DIY shelving made easy. We're gonna give it a go today. I'm not a joiner, so I'm not sure how this is gonna go. Also, it is Halloween and I'm out later with my friends, hence why I've got my hair in this crazy looking thing. It's heatless curls. Keep it in all night, all day. And then by the time that you take it out, you have really nice curled hair. But it's completely heatless, so it's a protective hairstyle. You aren't gonna damage your hair using curlers, so that's why I'm looking a bit crazy with this hairstyle. But yeah, let's get into 1, sorting the shelf out, 2, sorting the second shelf out, and 3, starting on the pantry, because my mum and dad are coming on Saturday and I kind of want it finished. I mean, it's Friday today, so I'm not sure if we're gonna get it completely finished because I'm off out at 4 PM and it's currently 9 AM. We're gonna see. I told my mum and dad that it would be finished for when they come round. We're also gonna get a TV. We're having the Wi-Fi installed today, which is exciting. I've got a bathroom shelf that I need to attach upstairs. Well, we've got a lot to do. Let's go. First things first, this is the shelf. There is kind of visible lines where we've drawn them, but I'm thinking because we're going to have the containers there anyway, we're not going to have to paint over that bit. I'll paint over the bits at the side, and we've got some, I don't even know what this is, I think it's paint, but yeah, we need to give the walls a bit of a paint and the end of this a sand down. But yeah, we're going to put all of the containers on the shelf, see how many will fit, and like I said, we've got another small one coming today that's going to go from there to there. If you can see the pencil lines, I measured it out so that, because we're having a tiled splashback, I didn't want one shelf to come further in than the other shelf, so I measured it equal gaps between like where the hob ends and the shelf starts. So that's where it's going to start. It's a 40cm shelf, just from there to there. It's just a small one, but I'm sure we can fit things on like this, which is my utensils holder. We can put some recipe books on there, maybe even the coffee machine if the coffee machine fits. I was going to test that out actually. Let me find my tripod. I don't know where it's gone. I'm gonna go grab, hey Coco, this is my cat by the way. He is settling in great. Oh, he's so cute. She is still a little bit nervous. I bet when I come up now, she's gonna be hiding in the cupboard. I'm still halfway through editing as well. I don't know why I haven't got around to it yet. My first few weeks living in my new house. Yeah, she is hiding. She keeps hiding like under here. I've had to put her food mat there. Hey, you don't need to hide. Where have I put my tripod though? This is a problem. Sure, I had it yesterday. I've got a little bit of a cold as well, you know. It's just that kind of year, isn't it, where everybody gets sick. Okay. We're still on the hunt for the tripod. I'm sure I'll find it. But where? The most annoying thing. If you know, you know, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on the law of how shit our original Tyler was. He never paid us the money back. Seriously, where is my tripod? Okay, I found my tripod. I always forget that it's a compact one. So I was looking for it kind of stood up somewhere, but it was in my cupboard all put away. I'm gonna set you up. We're gonna just put some containers on the shelf and then we're gonna take it from there, see what else needs doing. Part of this video might be in voiceover just because the Wi-Fi guy is coming and I don't want to be stood here talking to the phone while he's in the next room doing Wi-Fi stuff. Tripod up. Let's go, finally. I'm excited for this because it just means that we don't have to have all of this all over the place. I'm gonna put some of the taller ones at the back, the taller ones and the bigger ones at the back, but I kind of want to alternate it. Yeah. Right, this. And then maybe another big one. I'm thinking actually, I'm going to put a plant pot here, and off the end of this one we're going to have a plant that kind of dangles down over the side. Remind me to go and get a plant for that. Look how cute these jars are as well. They've got little spoons on. These are all from the range. So I've got my sesame seeds in that one. Yeah, and look at this one. Just another little spoon. So cute. We can, I'm sure, we'll put a little cactus there. Why not? Okay. What do we think of the shelf? Let me pop a light on because it's pretty dark. I know that this isn't going to be everyone's style, but I love the open shelving kind of look. This is perfect. I know some people were saying that having open shelving looks really cluttered and messy. I like it. I like it, and that is all that matters. And like I said, we're going to have a plant on the end here that kind of dangles off the edge. So cool. And then I was debating, do I put the coffee machine, do I keep it there? Or do I put it over here? But I think I'm going to keep it over there so then I can have this space to cook. It's a very small kitchen and it's very limited to what we can do with it. At the minute, it is just on this back wall. A lot of people were saying, oh, get a kitchen island. It genuinely wouldn't be possible, because if you see, if I put a kitchen island there, that would mean like you'd have to walk around to get to the room through there, and through here we're going to have the utility. But also, even to get in the dining room, it's quite a thin space. It's kind of hard to show you on camera. It's a thin space. If I was to have an island there, I just don't know how it would work with having this opening and then the dining room, because we want to put table and chairs there. How would that work? I just don't think that would work, unless I just get a massive kind of island in here and double it up as a seating, eating space with kind of raised bar stools, and it can be a food preparation space. Then it's kind of a bit weird because it's in a separate room to the kitchen. I'm not sure. Originally, one of my original plans when I got this house was to remove the kitchen out of here completely and put it in the dining room, but in the end it just worked out that it was going to be way more expensive. We were going to have to run the gas pipe, run all of the electrics into a room that had never been a kitchen before. And I don't know, maybe it's something we'll do in the future, but in terms of how we were budgeting and how we were just trying to get things done, this was the easiest option for now for us to get a working kitchen, and it was fairly cheap. It cost, I'm going to say 1.5k for all of the cabinets to get it fitted, the worktop. Oh no, the worktop was an extra £200, so let's say 2k all in all for this kitchen, which I think is great. Even though it's a small space, it worked out very reasonable. Next plan of the day, we're going to attempt, and keyword in attempt, to start building. Well, I need to finish that little bit of flooring at the back, and then we're going to attempt to start building the actual shelves. I'm going to build them outside of the cupboard first, and then hopefully we can just almost slot them in and then attach them to the walls. I don't know if this is going to work. I've never done anything like this before. I've watched a few YouTube videos, looked at a few photos, and we're just going to give it our best shot, because I would rather do it myself than pay to get someone in. That is just unfortunately the kind of person that I am. Even if it goes wrong, even if I don't know what I'm doing, I would rather give it a go myself. I've got the level as well today so we can make sure that all of the shelves are level, because when I was doing this one yesterday, where I'd marked out, I don't know if it was 100% level because I didn't have a level to check, but from should we check it actually, but then I kind of don't want to know. Yeah, I don't know, that's not very level. But it doesn't matter, to eye it looks level, so I don't really care. First of all, we're going to we're going to grab the jigsaw and the cutting table. Cutting table, jigsaw. I'm gonna see. Hold on. I'm gonna see. Coco! No, no, not on the brand new sofa. I'm gonna see if the blade on this is okay, but I'm thinking because the depth is a bit bigger, I did get a bigger blade, but oh, there's not even a battery in here. He's taken all the frigging batteries. Right, I didn't anticipate that. It's alright, we've got one. There's one on the end of this. Charged. Coco, I would go upstairs if I were you because this is gonna get really noisy. Yeah. First, what we want to do is kind of measure the depth that we want the shelf to be. So in my head I'm thinking, well, it's gonna have to be enough to, okay, let's just test it out. I want the depth of the shelf to be enough to have like 2 big containers. 1, 2. Perfect sizes each time. We're gonna need 2 of these to start with. Whoops. Next, we need to do the like the width of the shelf. So I need to go and measure that. It was just past 27. Okay. So this is the width of the shelf, but like I said, we're gonna have to take, and it depends if I'm gonna have them that way or the other way. Let me just think about this. And now we need a second one exactly the same size. A little bit wonky actually. Let me just fix that. I think I might have done it wrong. Now we've got the frame of our shelf, we're gonna screw this all together. I'm having a meltdown. We're about 3 hours into doing it. It's just not working. Like, I've got the plug and the screws all stuck. Just nothing is working. I literally, like, I can't get it out. I can't get the screw and the plug out with a piece of wood. I literally wish I never even started it because what the fuck? I can't get it out. It's so annoying, guys, because I know what I'm doing and how to do it, but I don't have the tools to do it. Like, the batteries on the tools keep dying, which is annoying, and Kieran's got the charger. The drill bit that I had was masonry drill bit, so it wouldn't go through the wood properly. So I've had to go out and get another, but I keep having to switch them across because we don't have enough tools. Oh, I've got so much to do. Like, I just wanted these shelves to take a few hours and then I have other bits to do and it's just not working. I don't know whether to just call it a day, give up, or just carry on trying. I don't know, it just doesn't... It just seems a bit pointless. Right, after many meltdowns and not filming, we've got this. It's not a lot, but we're getting there. We're getting there. It's just, I underestimated how difficult it would actually be, and it's turning out that it's quite difficult. Okay. All I'm doing at the minute is building the bases of the shelves. So I need to put the side pieces on, then the front pieces on, and then we're gonna sandwich it in MDF and it should be okay. Drill. We've drilled a hole. We're gonna hope that one of the plugs is gonna fit. A screw, and then this is like the difficult bit because you kind of have to line it line it up, and we're getting the electric screw, oh yeah, the drill. I don't know what the difference is, a drill and a drill. Take it out. Oh, that's so difficult. Medium mark. What's it? Right, medium mark. I'm drilling. Oh, this is so difficult. Sorry, it's so dark in here. I'm kind of wishing that I left it painted white in here. We're going to have at the bottom, this is going to be a place to put bins. Then this shelf will be for things like ingredients. I'm going to run this shelf all the way across here and across here, so it will kind of run all the way around. Yeah, so it will kind of run all the way around. And then we're going to put some shelving up here. Yeah, so it is kind of coming together. It's just a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be, and it is very dark in this cupboard. Anyway, I'm just going to carry on doing it. I think I need to cut another piece of wood out, unless this piece is going to be long enough, but yeah, it's not. I'm just marking the length on that I need the piece of wood to be. Hopefully the right sized piece of wood. I'm thinking to make it a bit lighter in here, we're going to do under shelving. Perfect. We're going to do under shelving lighting. Okay, so that should be easy. We don't have to drill, we're just going to screw this wood into the other wood. We're getting somewhere with it. I don't know. It's very difficult, I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot more difficult than I was anticipating, but we're getting there. It's only took me like 5 hours to do one shelf. If we can get 2 shelves done by the end of today, I will be happy. Like, I just want a few shelves to put some stuff on. So here you can see I've cut out the front bit of the shelf, which we're gonna stick on like that, and then we can sand it all down, and the actual shelf part I've put on the frame. So that's all cool. Looks good. I put some adhesive down. Gonna stick the shelf on. And then grab the front bit, stick it on. I've had to fill in some gaps around the edges. I'm sure if you, as a professional skilled joiner, you would not need to do this because you would know how to measure correctly, but I've been out a little bit. So I've just filled all of the gaps in with wood filler. It looks a little bit messy, but I'm going to wipe the excess away, wait for it to dry, and then when it's all dry and secure, we can come back, sand it, and paint it the same colour as the wall, because essentially I want it to all blend in to the wall and look like it's just built out of the wall. If you're a joiner or professional, don't comment. I feel like for a girly that's never done anything like this before, I gave it a good shot, did I not? I feel like I did, and we've done one shelf. Yes, it took 4 hours. We're gonna start on the second shelf now. Yeah, it's looking like shit, but I promise by the end of next week, it will look great. You just have to trust the vision, trust the process. We're gonna hope. I really need a crisp break. Okay, we're going to move on to the second shelf. We're going to let that dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to sand it down, paint it. We've already done the back piece, that's on nice and secure. I'm debating, do I make the shelves all the same size, or do I have like a big one here and then maybe one that is a little bit shorter? I actually don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Because that one was over 8, I think we'll do this one 7. But then I feel like if they're the same length, things will get hidden and stuck at the back, whereas if I stagger them a little bit, you'll be able to see onto the shelf a little bit more. Okay, yeah, we're going to do it ever so slightly shorter, or at number 6, and we can put things like cans or cereal boxes on here. Do it here. This should be really easy. Now that I've done one, I feel like I'm kind of getting the gist of it a little bit. Oh! Okay, we're getting somewhere, guys. We've got frame number 2 built. Now I'm going to do the same, get the MDF, cut it, stick it on top, and then we have 2 shelves. And I think I did make the right decision with doing this shelf a bit more set back, and this one comes out, because then you can kind of like get to the back of this one more easily, and we can put things like cereals and cans up on here. I said hey. It literally fit first time, which is great. There's a few gaps on the side and the back, but, well, that's quite a big gap actually, but I'm going to get a wood filler, fill it all at the sides and the back. I'm going to take this off, put some adhesive on the wood, and then we can stick this on top. There's 3 more, I think I'm going to change out. Hopefully we've got... Oops. Okay, should be enough. Pull it up there. Now we're going to go ahead and stick the shelf on. Need to fold a little bit. Put it down. So with a tape measure, I'm going to measure it from here to here. That's how thick it's got to be. And then shelf number 1, shelf number 2, looking great. They just need a bit of a sand down, and I need to sand this to make that all even. Hi guys, it's the next day and we're going to be carrying on building the shelf. We're still on building the actual frame, so I'm just cutting out the sides, cutting out the long bits, then cutting out the short bits, drawing on the walls where the shelf is going to sit and where I need to drill the holes out. If the video is making what I'm doing look a little bit easy, let me tell you now, it is not. I've never done this before, I've never done anything like this before, and it's taken a lot of patience. Sometimes I can cut the same piece like out wrong 100 times, not 100 times, but like 5 times, or then I'll drill the hole in the wrong place and then it'll fall off the wall. On paper, it's pretty straightforward. You basically cut out the planks of wood, depending on how long and how thick you want the shelves to be. You cut them out with a jigsaw like I'm doing here, and then you just drill a hole in the wall. Then you have to line it up perfectly to where you're going to put the screw in the wood and then attach it to the wall securely. And because I've only got one impact tool, I keep having to change around the drill head to the screwdriver head, which is really annoying and time consuming. There's not really much more to say. I'm just going to let you watch what I'm doing, and if, I don't know, I'm not saying take tips from it, but if you want to build some shelving yourself, then maybe just look at what I'm doing, slow it down, replay it, rewind it, and you'll be able to see step by step what I'm actually doing. The reason why I'm not talking you through it as I'm doing it is because today was just not the day. It was the day after I'd been out for Halloween. I was really tired. I just wanted to get the shelving done, and yeah, I just left you basically recording in the background. I do want to give you this tip though. If you just saw in the previous clip, I had like a thing of masking tape. Basically, I lost my tape measure and then I couldn't find anything to measure anything with, so I thought, hang on, I've got some masking tape. Let me just measure it out with the masking tape. And it actually works really well, dare I say, like better than a tape measure. Once we'd done the actual base of the shelf and done the outline, I got these big sheets of MDF, cut out the sides, and this is what is going to be like the top and the sides of the shelf. And I was just sticking those on with adhesive. Oh, guys, I could literally cry. I've just spent all of that time doing that, and I forgot something crucial. And it's like the most obvious thing ever. And it means that I'm going to have to redo the entire shelf. Basically, when I was attaching the frame to the wall, I didn't take into consideration how thick the sheet of MDF is, meaning that it doesn't sit flush with the other shelf. So I'm going to have to take it all out and move it down ever so slightly. That is literally so annoying. Is there any way I can get around this without having to redo the whole thing? It's just like it's off by a millimetre. And then I'm like, oh, does it really matter? But I mean it does, because you can't have a shelf that's up, down, up, down. That's just annoying. Fuck. It's 4 PM on Monday. I'm off to Norway tomorrow. You will have to come back next week on, I think, next Monday. And hopefully we can finish these shelves, because I'm gonna have some food, do some work, and then it'll be time to go to Norway. I'm not gonna have time to finish this today. So that is all from me today. Over and out. Bye. Hi guys, I've started like 101 different tasks since getting back from Norway. I don't know where to even start. I don't know where to stop, to be honest. I've forgotten my tripod. I just keep starting the most random things. Like I've started, if you watch my TikTok, you'll have seen, I started patching up the vent hole above the boiler with a knife because I didn't have the right tools when, here it is. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. I'm just waiting for it to dry and then, bless me, and then we can paint, well, sand it and then paint it. But in today's YouTube video, we're going to be carrying on with the pantry. God, why am I out of breath from running up the stairs? I wasn't even running, I was just walking. This is what it's currently looking like. We painted, okay, so I need to sand, oh, okay, yeah. Whatever, I need to sand this. I just need to sand them all, paint this one. I need to empty out. The thing is, I didn't want to keep everything on the floor. So even though the shelf wasn't finished, I just put everything on there, and also to test if it would withhold the weight of everything, and it has very nicely. So I would say it's a job well done. I basically built the shelf a little bit too low, so it wasn't lining up with the other shelf. To get around this problem, we just unscrewed it all and lowered each piece. It was kind of annoying because it was undoing and then redoing what I'd already done, but whatever. At least it's fixed and finished now. Stamp paper. I keep all my beans in here. So tired today. Spices and flour. As well, while we're doing this, I asked you guys to ask me some questions on my Instagram story. We'll answer some while we're doing this, because all we're doing is painting. I've got harsh grit and fine grit. We're going to sand with this first and then sand with that. To be honest, I know that this isn't the best, but for a DIY attempt, I would say that it's looking pretty good. I actually don't have a paintbrush. I've got this crusty ass roller. Let me try and run it under the hot water. I think my problem is that whenever I've used like a paintbrush or a roller, I never wash it. I just leave it overnight. I think when it's all painted the same colour as the wall, it's going to look a lot nicer. I love this colour of paint as well. People were really worried that it was going to be way too dark, which it is dark, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that it looks terrible. that is the first coat of paint done. We're probably gonna let that dry, and then there's a few holes that we're gonna need to polyfill and then sand over, just where, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but where we've put some of the screws in. Yeah, in fact, that one hasn't been countersunk enough. Now we're going to move on to painting this top shelf. I feel like the bottom of it is really wonky. If anyone's got any advice on what I can do about that. Okay, so to answer one of the questions that somebody put on my Instagram story, what is your next project going to be? Or it was something along the lines of that. Do you want to do another project, or what is your next project going to be? We're going to live in this house for a few years, probably until it's finished. It's probably going to take a while and a lot of money to completely finish. And then I'm going to get it valued, see how much it actually is worth. If it's gone up in value, which I'm hoping all the renovations have made it go up in value. If it hasn't, then that'll be like really good. If the house has gone up in value, we can use that money. I've forgotten the terminology. We can use that money to basically, so we can claim equity on this house and then use the money to buy a second house and then do the same, renovate that house while living in this house, and then either, depends which one I want to end up selling, either sell this one or sell the new one. But this definitely isn't like just a one house kind of thing. I have actually really enjoyed doing it, and I think doing this first house has given me skills, more skills than I had when I first started it, and I would be able to, like, I can learn from all of the mistakes that I made on this house and apply them to the next house, because there are many things that I would have done differently in this house if I had the time again. Maybe I wouldn't have gone so chaotic and started ripping everything out straight away. We couldn't have done it room by room completely, but I could have taken it a little bit slower so things didn't get overwhelming. And also there are multiple things that I would have got someone in to do instead of doing it myself, because in the long run it just ended up wasting money and we had to pay twice to get someone else in. I would also be more careful about the tradesmen that I'm using, because some of the tradesmen that we've used have been so awful and terrible. Like, you just honestly wouldn't believe it. We've rarely had any really good tradesmen, which is so sad. But we really haven't. To answer the question though, I definitely want to do a second project. I just don't know when it's going to be. I don't know when I'm going to have the money to do it. But it is something that I love doing. I love filming it. And I think that's probably going to be the way forward that I go in the future. Even to make money. Like, at the minute I've lost money on this house, but like I said, once the renovation has been done, I'm hoping that it will have gone up in value. If it hasn't, like, it hasn't, and it's not the end of the world, but it would be good if it has. So yeah, the minute we've finished every single room, I'm going to get it valued and I'll let you guys know how much it's gone up. We bought it for 150,000. I don't know whether this is like optimistic, but I'm kind of hoping that it's gone up to 200,000, or if not 200,000, maybe 190. Our chances of this house going up drastically in profit on this house is very low, because if you didn't know, it's an ex-council house, and the area, because it's an ex-council house, it's on a council estate, meaning that for other people, I mean, for me, I don't care, but for other people, it's not a very desirable area, and they wouldn't want to like spend that much money to live in this area. So yeah, we could actually struggle to sell this house. I guess it's just something that we'll have to see when the time comes, but I am prepared for the fact that we're going to struggle to sell it. You know, like, there's so many things that could go wrong. We just have to hope that things work out and that the universe is going to be on my side. But you know what, even if the universe isn't on my side and the house, we struggle to sell it, we don't make any money on it, it isn't just the money that I'm bothered about. I've gained so many lifelong skills that I can apply to things in the future. Just from doing this, my social media accounts have tripled, doubled. I gained 500,000 in a few months, and I'm hoping that that can carry on going forward. I think every single wall is painted. I'm just going to go over this bit. I always wonder how people online perceive me. Do they watch what I'm doing and think, what a silly, stupid girl, what is she doing? Or do people watch it and think, wow, like, good on her for giving it a go? I don't know. I feel like it's very mixed, because some people will comment and tell me that I'm making a mess of the house. I'm going to make its value decrease. I'm definitely not going to make it decrease, because the state that it was to begin with wasn't the best. I think the only bits that I will have really messed up with are the DIY bits like this, because like this isn't perfect, but it's in the back of a cupboard, do you know what I mean? It's actually not that serious. Is it gonna matter? This space, it's better than it was before. Is it gonna matter if it's not perfect? Probably not, because you can't even see inside it from standing over here, but it's just gonna add more storage into the kitchen, because the kitchen is very small. And I would say if you weren't looking like so close at that, it looks quite cool, doesn't it? Like, I would say it looks quite cool. What I'm gonna do is wait for this to dry, then we're gonna just fill in that gap there. We're gonna sand down here, sand down that. When the paint is dry, it will all look a lot smoother. If you look too close at it, you are gonna see the imperfections, but if you stand away and once all of the containers are on there, you're not really gonna be able to see any of the little mini imperfections. Gaps, we're just gonna fill sand and paint. I've just painted that wall. This wall wasn't plastered, okay? And I'm not gonna lie, we're not gonna even go to the effort of getting it plastered, because we're gonna have a bin there that comes out. It's gonna be completely covered. There's some wires here that we need to speak to the electrician about, and then we can figure that out. That wall wasn't plastered, the rest of the walls were, so the rest of the walls are smooth. Well, the walls that are on show are plastered, and the wall that isn't on show hasn't been plastered. A 2-tier bin, we're gonna have one for general waste and then one for recycling, plastic and paper. Yeah, let me know what you think of it so far. I'm gonna let the paint dry, then we're gonna come back, fill a few areas, sand it, and then repaint it. And then I think for the time being, we're gonna leave it like that. We're gonna put all of the containers back, but next week, what I do want to do is start building a few more shelves that go up there. And I don't know whether to carry on at the side there a little bit, because that is kind of wasted space, but then it gives us room to move around. So I might not do a shelf there, but I think we're definitely going to have one going there and one there. I just want honest opinions. Let me know, have I made a mistake in doing this? Does it look okay? Should I have got a professional? I guess we'll only be able to fully tell what it's actually going to look like when it's completely finished, when we've got the undershelving lighting, when we've put all of the containers on the shelf. It's going to look aesthetic. I just keep telling myself when it's finished, it's going to look aesthetic. It will look good. It's a process, and a lot of the time when you're in the, like when you're halfway through doing things, they're not going to look good, obviously, because it's not the finished result. Don't judge. Well, you can judge, but don't fully judge until you've seen the finished result, because in my head, it is going to look good, and we're just going to have to hope that it does, otherwise it will have been a complete waste of time. But yeah, this cost me nothing. Well, obviously materials, but I didn't have to pay anyone to do this. And a quote that I did get to do, it was like over £1,000 to build shelving in here. So the fact that I've saved £1,000, sure, it's probably not as good as a professional would have done it, and it's taken me a lot longer than a professional would have taken to do it, but it was worth, in my opinion, saving the money and doing it myself, and I've learned a lot of skills that I can apply to future projects. Yeah, let me know what you think of it so far. Guys, it's the same day, but I've got a really good idea. I bought this shelf a while back in B&Q, but wouldn't this be perfect for just displaying the vitamins on? Because the reason that I never take vitamins in the morning is because I can't see them. I don't know what I'm taking. They're just not practical to get to. They've been shoved in the back of a cupboard for weeks. Whereas if I had them on display like that, I feel like I would take my vitamins, and being a vegan, it is important to take my vitamins. So I feel like having them set out all nicely like this is gonna, what's the word? Encourage me. It's gonna make me wanna take my vitamins, because it looks so organised and cute. And I'm thinking that this is where the shelf is going to go, but I'm not sure if it looks a bit strange because it's kind of shorter. Do you know what I don't like, it would kind of look better if it went all the way to there, but they don't do one that size. So then maybe I could put that there, my vitamins would be on that one. Or do I put, no, yeah, it would have to be like that. Obviously we want the shelf to be level, so we're going to test it with the leveler. That. So that is the top. And we're going to take one of our plugs, see if it fits. If it doesn't fit, then it doesn't fit, so we have to make the hole a lot deeper. I always get scared drilling in case I go into next door or through a wire. Wow, that is a lot of brick dust. gonna fit? Yes, it does. Next, we're gonna drill the second hole. This is what it currently looks like, but you're gonna have to come back for episode 4 to see what we do with the space next and how we're gonna actually finish it off. Bye, and if you want to help me fund finishing the rest of the house like this utility that we've got the massive leak in, please like, follow and subscribe. It means the entire world. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.